crap, the hiatus is over. Guess what? This one actually is going to drop on the time it's going to drop. But that's beside the point. The TSK is here, one number down, but that's okay. It's DC, it's Rob, it's myself. We're here to cover WrestleDream, but it ended in WrestleMurder.
WrestleNightmare?
WrestleNightmare, I guess. It's
like a majority of the last few AEW pay-per-views.
Just
death. I think someone in our chat, and I want to say it was Ty, said he's getting tired of watching attempted murder.
A little bit. I mean,
2 pay-per-views in a row. Like,
we used to see people getting killed, not literally, but the idea of them dying on Impact before it got turned back into TNA, and now they're literally attempting murder live on pay-per-views.
Oh man, I guess if this is what it means to be a sicko.
Hey,
for the sickos.
For the sickos, indeed. All right, I do want to get into it. There's a lot to go in on this show. The card, as Max had predicted it, was massive, but the actual main show itself wasn't very big. So, hey-o. But we will get into... Attaboys. We will get into 0 Hour. Brian Cage defeats Atlantis Jr. to win the Ring of Honor Championship. Anna Jay defeats Harley Cameron. The Acclaimed get a win against MXM Collection with Uncle Rico. By the way, Uncle Rico making his debut, or I guess debut. Please not debut. All I know is this guy looks the exact same he did when I was in high school. The exact same. And I was in high school almost 20 years ago. There was
I'll just say it was good to see him again. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice to see Rico again.
It tickled that nostalgia. Let's go with the tickling of the nostalgia. There was this massive tag team, fucking whatever the hell. The Outrunners, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Rocky Romero, or with Rocky on the side against John Silver, Alex Reynolds, Tony Nese, Arya Daivari. Good fun stuff. The Outrunners, and I'm going to say this now before we get into the show, the Outrunners should absolutely be the guys to dethrone the Young Bucks.
And if they need to make the belts look like the WCW belts from 92.
Do it now. And we all know TK has no problem. Attaboy. Attaboy.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Bring back the nostalgia, baby. The nostalgia. Speaking of a little nostalgia, we can kind of throw to it like this because these guys have history. The opening match of WrestleDream was Switchblade Dre White against Hangman Adam Page. And the last time I remember these guys had more of a blood feud-ish was during the New Japan run in America. When they were in San Francisco at the Cow Palace and they got JR involved, and it was very real for a minute. Very real and a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's where Josh Barnett wanted to beat the shit out of Jay White, wasn't it?
Oh, God. Yeah, I love Josh Barnett.
Yeah. That's one human that I don't want to be on the opposite side.
No, don't make Josh Barnett mad in any way, shape, or form.
Man could kill you very easily.
Oh,
very easily.
Thank you. With absolute ease. I'm just not. That's one dude. You're just as you said. You don't cross him. You don't make fun of him. You don't get in front of. You don't get in front of him. You get out of your way. Excuse me, sir. I'm sorry to be in your way, sir.
Don't fucking mess with JR in front of Josh's presence either. Don't. You might fucking die.
You just might die. Hell, that one dude was it Michael Key White. He almost died from fucking Josh Barnett, for crying out loud. And that was a movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so to get on to this match right here, it was an excellent open. These guys have stupendous chemistry. The crowd was lively, very lively for this, giving you a fuck you cowboy and cowboy shit chants. Pardon me. But very back and forth, very New Japan style, hard-hitting, strong style. I know I always have to say that part, but it's the truth. Goes back and forth. Page looks to have all the momentum in the world. He's going for a buckshot. You think she's going to get the buckshot. All of a sudden, it gets turned around. Jay White switches it. I think literally as he's coming off of it, gets right underneath him with the wicked smile on his face. Hits the Blade Runner. Picks up the 1-2-3. An absolute massively needed win for Jay White. We figured when this dude was coming in, the minimum he was going to be was a continental champion, an international champion, a TNT champion, and he's been at best a Trios champion.
In Ring of Honor.
Hey, what does that tell you? So, thoughts on the match, gentlemen?
I thought it was good. It was a great opening match. We know from watching New Japan that these guys have chemistry and they could work together, and it's always good to see Jay. Back because he was out for a while. It feels like years, but it was only months, I guess. They said 10 months, I believe. He's looking good, feeling good. That counter from the buckshot into the
Blade Runner.
I almost said Sister Abigail.
Hello. Wait a minute.
Same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. But that counter was great. This match was great. I know a lot of people were really kind of perplexed. Where does Hangman go after the Swerve feud? And I think this fits quite deliciously. If this goes on for a couple more weeks into Full Gear, even into World's End, I wouldn't personally have a problem with it.
Nope, I'm all about it. Whatever we can do to continue to push Jay White, I'm all about. DC, how you feeling?
Honestly, I loved it, and like Rob said, I love the transition to. Hey, I'll be honest. I'm not calling it the Blade Runner. I'm calling it Sister Abigail because to me, that's what the fuck
it's Crossroads. I had to do it.
And I thought it was really well done. And honestly, I'm digging the character change for Hangman. The whole goody two shoes image with him had run its course. It was time for for them to hit the reset button on him. And you know what? Sometimes character changes don't always work. Because, I mean, since he came into AEW, he's been the babyface. So it's... I'm liking this. This has worked for him.
The Stan Hansen role is on
it's
point.
kind of funny that you mentioned that, though, because, it just went all gas, no brakes. There was no in-between. He went from, 1 to 37.
Yes.
To, you were my English teacher 7 years ago to, I committed murder and arson in the span of probably a week.
Yes.
And didn't get arrested.
No arrest warrant. He's got B&E history, for crying out loud.
Arson, attempted homicide, I was this man not in county somewhere.
Illegal use of medical equipment, but that's all besides the point.
Exactly.
We hop into another one. We go into the AEW.
Overall, good shit. Loved it. Cowboy shit.
He's still got a fantastic mustache. I don't care what you say.
Don't ever downplay the mustache.
I will say that last night on it, it's odd cheering for Jay White. Because the guy's such a good heel.
Yeah. Okay, I can see it that way. I was I could totally cheer for Jay White, but I get what you're driving at. He's literally been a heel the entire time he's been in AEW.
He's so freaking good at it.
He's fantastic at it. He's really can absolutely make you hate him.
He oozes like that schmuck heel. Like you just want to hate him, but you can't. So just breathe with him.
Because it's 12 apps. That's why you can't. Mariah May, Willow Nightingale, AEW Women's Championship. These ladies have fought before. I think it was the Owen Hart, if I'm not mistaken. This one was a little bit better.
The final.
I've said this on Max about Drew McIntyre, and I'll say the same sentiments about Willow Nightingale. I'm sick and tired of her losing fucking title matches. I'm sick of it. Stop feeding her to people. Willow Nightingale is literally she's your Bailey right now. If we have to put it in the WWE context, she's your fucking Bailey. She is so over. Yeah. I have never, in all of my days, seen grown man after grown man in arenas clapping along like this since the Bailey run.
True.
So it's just, I'm not saying you're wasting it, but we're pushing the boundaries of being wasteful.
There.
Yes.
It's getting there.
We're pushing the boundaries. Okay. Go ahead,
to me, I'll say this, I love me some Willow Nightingale because, since she came on, she's like, some people, they've just got that, you don't know what it is, but they've got it.
Baby.
She's somebody, think of the first couple years of Bailey's main roster run when they were wasting her talent, but once she turned heel, bam, took off. To me, Like, and call me crazy, turn Willow heel. Because to me, she's got the potential. Like, just something about her. Like, because people love to cheer. She's got that the feel good story.
Absolutely,
the one that you want to cheer for.
Yes, she's the ultimate babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the ultimate baby faces can be the best heels you can have.
Agreed. Absolutely, 100% agreed. I still think it would be a little early, a little bit, but then again...
Oh yeah, still a little early.
But then
Give
again...
maybe a year.
Absolutely within a year. I'm just saying it's like I'm with that as well. I hope that that's not what's holding her back from a title victory outside of... Well, I don't know. Why can't... Maybe fucking TBS. I know a lot of us are very... over Mercedes Moné, and thank God she wasn't on this show. But I mean, maybe that's a possibility in due time. I do love the commentary, however, where I believe it was who goddamn was it? Nigel McGuinness. Apparently his lips are tattooed on the back of Mariah May's ass. Thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was a lovely commentary move there. But again, as I've always said about Mariah May matches, she is as stiff as a worker as I've probably ever seen.
Started.
And it's a bazillion % blamed on Stardom. They are as strong style as can be. They could probably out wrestle most men. That's how competitive they are in Stardom. And Willow, having spent some time there and some time in different companies up and down Mexico, this is a style she blends well with. And that's why every time they're in the ring together, their chemistry works super well. There is the obvious dynamic of the overly bad girl who wants to be bad, the naughty one, if you will, and as we keep saying, the overly baby face in Willow Nightingale. And it's a dynamic that worked awesomely. It just, again, this was one of those matches where the writing was on the wall. You knew it was going to happen. You knew there wasn't going to be a title change. You were hoping for maybe somebody to come in and make some interference. Mina wasn't going to be coming in probably because of the hurricanes. So I'm pretty sure flights into that area were a no-go. And I know that Toni Storm couldn't leave Jacksonville for the same exact reason. Or not Jacksonville, but wherever she lives in Florida for the same exact reason. So it just... Yeah. I think that you might be right. But it's again, the writing on the wall, I don't want to say predictability. I don't want to. But the reality is being a wrestling fan of 30 years... whether we like it or not, we have a bit of predictability because we've seen it before. It's been done before in some way, shape, or form in another realm if you want to get funky.
The match overall was still pretty good, though. I think Mariah is still a fantastic worker, despite, what people might think or say, about her skill set, this, that, and the other. She's put on some pretty decent matches.
What in the world have people said about her skill set?
Yeah, it's a lot of nonsense on the interwebs. You know what I mean?
These are the same people, Rob. That you put them in a ring, they wouldn't know what to fucking do, and you both know, I'm a huge critic of Tony Khan, rightfully so at times. But these same fucking people, if Mariah May were to leave and go to WWE, they'd think she was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Sliced bread is pretty awesome.
I mean, hey, some chai toasted with some jam on it. But at the same time, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The same people on the internet.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
No can do, sir, because you're not doing it. But you're again. We say it all the time. It's you literally change the background of where this wrestler is, and they're, oh my God, she's the da 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 da. They complain about her being overly sexual. Oh well, guess what? Well, that's the perfect amount of sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very flip-floppy and fickle, as what Bree Jai used to say. But yes, Mariah May hits I want to say there was going to be a powerbomb by Nightingale, got turned into a Hurricane Rana, hits the charging knee strike, and then a Storm Zero. She retains the title. No returns, no interference, no nothing. Clean win. On to the next. Wonder how we build Willow Nightingale. But I wonder where we're going with Jack Perry now. Because I feel like we're kind of just, well, let's throw somebody at him. Because that's exactly what this was. Jack Perry versus Katsuri Shibata for the TNT Championship.
It was random.
This was a fantastic match until that fuck shit ending.
Yeah, the ending was absolute shit. So this was and again, I'll talk about it, how we spoke about it on Raw. I mean, on Max. The build was Jack Perry wanted the old Shibata back. The guy that was on the tear right before the head injury. The dude who a lot of people would say was going to supersede Kazuchika Okada, and likely so. I mean, the way they were pushing the fuck out of him, it was likely so. But
very much.
Due to the injury, it didn't happen. But he got every bit of that Shibata in this match. He was beating the shit out of him, taking chops and kicks from him, literally brushing him off of his chest. It was the old Shibata again, as close as we could get.
Absolutely.
But then that's where just the whole bunch of fuckery just. And this is what I don't get. Why do we need to go down? Why do we go down this route with Shibata? And the thing that makes it this much worse is it's a story you can believe because it's Shibata putting on a rear naked choke. He falls to his back. The referee counts to 3. Oh shit! I didn't realize my shoulders were pins. But here's the problem I have with it: the fact that
Knox didn't count to 3. He only counted to 2.
Thank you. He counted to 2 because the reality is, fucking Jack and him hit the ground simultaneously, and he's already at 1 before anybody's fucking shoulders are pinned. He's already 1, and I'm like, wait a minute, huh? And then he goes 2-3.
Oh fuck!
And it's like, huh?
That's not the only time Knox did that last night.
Oh no, Knox is.
We'll get to the other part.
Hey man,
wasn't
bar
it the
wrestling.
women's match that he kind of?
No, he did it. He did it during the Bucks match too.
Yes.
I don't want to say Knox is fucking up because it's Knox, but I want to say like they're gonna cast him into the Elite somehow because the connection Knox and the Elite. I really want to believe this is like storyline something because I don't want to believe Knox is fucking up that.
So and I'm glad you bring this up because I'm having these slowly built conversations over the internet about how the NWO and AEW is going to be formed and how the Elite is basically the NWO. I'm sure. Well, now I understand the differences. The guy running the show, the billionaire, the Eric Bischoff. There's Tony Khan's not joining them, so get that part out of your head. That's a weirdo part.
Yeah.
But then again, yet. But at the same time, what was another one of the major dynamics of the NWO? They had their own referee.
Your homie.
So
your favorite rap?
No. We're not, I'm just gonna say referee. We're not saying the names out loud. Okay. And
then is it Patrick Nichols? Patrick Nichols?
We're using government names. Anyways, I'll drop kick that son of a bitch anywhere I see him on the street. I swear to God. But that's where we're kind of. I feel like that's where you could go. I don't think it's going that way. I just fucking think Knox is kind of just out of it. And I hate saying it like that. I do because I've seen these things. He's on the older side, but I've seen these things on and off for a little bit, and I hate saying that it's just because he's an indie ref. Like half the other referees outside of fucking Big Swerve's cousin, it came from the fucking WWE. So it's like you have Knox, who again was the big signing and the whatever because he came with the Bucks and bar wrestling and all that other fun shit. And then you have Homeboy, and then sorry, I'm forgetting about Aubrey. Can't forget about Aubrey. But I just feel like it's either yes, play it up that he could be the Elite's referee, or he's just fucking up. And I'm kind of leading with the latter.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I was kind of conflicted about that because not only did I notice it that first time, but it happened during the Bucks match, and I'm just like, wait, the fuck, I've seen this before.
No, maybe I'm wrong. Was he the same ref from the women's match where the shoulder was up and he you see him putting the shoulder down?
No, that was
I think that's Paul.
Was that
Turner,
Bryce?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that Paul Turner?
That was Paul, yeah.
That's Paul.
I was like, it's not Bryce, it's the other white guy. So Paul Turner.
But I get what you're saying. Like, it's things like this make the product look bad.
Yep. And not in a good way.
Mistakes happen. They happen, but on a paper, you could expect this and be okay with it if it happened on Dynamite or Collision or Rampage or whatever.
TV, yeah, for sure.
But a pay-per-view, no.
I guess that's why that match was on the pre-show.
Hey, that's how it goes. After the match, it looks like Jack Perry's going to just kind of keep going after Shibata, wants to hit him with the belt. All of a sudden, Daniel Garcia comes running down, makes a save. Jack Perry runs off into the crowd. All of a sudden, MJF's music hits. Everybody goes nuts. There's a fucking stare down. Garcia gets blasted with the TNT title. All of a sudden, they bounce. There's the whole bidding war. MJF goes on his little rant. And then, probably the biggest pop of the night, and I mean this, Adam's Cole music hits. He ain't limping, but he's back. Fucking, and the funniest part, too, is MJF is like, oh, what are you going to do? And then he sees him running, and he goes, oh, shit! And fucking runs like the biggest giant coward there ever was. I absolutely love it. Adam Cole being back. He says he's going right after MJF, but the reality is again, this is another dude like a Jay White who could very easily be in a main event title picture, a big-time title picture. We can play hot potato all we want, but I think Jack Perry's time as TNT champion is absolutely numbered, and it may not be a Danny Garcia who wins it. It could absolutely be an Adam Cole. It could absolutely be a Jay White. It could be one of those massive names that could absolutely need this push. So I'm very interested to see where this goes, and I'm very happy to see both Adam Cole and MJF back. Speaking of happy, I knew it was going to be good. You cannot say these three names, put them in a blender, and it still not come out tasting good. Takeshita, Ospreay, Ricochet. In the land of athletics and flippy-floppy for you jerk-offs out there that have to live that way, this was absolutely tremendous. They knocked this one out of the fucking park. In no short way was this bad, or it was great. Everything about it was awesome. From the facial expressions on Takeshita to the use of one table in such a dynamic fucking way that overly popped the shit out of everybody. To, of course, the beautiful high flying moves and all of the fun in between. There's always one match in every single one of these reviews where I have to tell everybody, don't listen to me no more. Go get out of your way and go watch this one. This is it. This is the match to do. There was Fight Forever chants. Fucking 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in, these guys were chanting Fight Forever for each other. God, I can only imagine. There was the shooting star press from Ricochet looked awesome. The back-to-back hidden blades to Takeshita were just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. It looks like Ospreay is going to get the win and retain. That's when we see Don Callis leave the commentary table, pull the referee out of the ring, jumps in there. He's got the fucking screwdriver. It gets the whole disarray happens, and then it's all going to have to happen. It was coming full circle. We knew this was going to go down. Kyle Fletcher had to pick a side. And his side is to remain with the Don Callis family, as he then takes out a screwdriver and lays out Will Ospreay. That's when Takeshita hits a knee, picks up the W, becomes the new international champion. But it was after the match where things got crazy because Kyle Fletcher picks up Will Ospreay, hits him with the Tiger Driver 93. Don Callis tells him he's super proud, and Will Ospreay is just completely laid out. And we've made jokes over the years of just how much abuse this poor guy's neck has taken. And we know that he probably took the move crazily safe, but the idea behind it is, you know his neck history. You know how devastating this move is going to be on the neck. So, I think Will Ospreay is going away for a little bit. How long? I'm not too sure. Are we feeling the same way?
He'll be back next week with the neck brace.
That's what I'm talking about.
Big Willie ain't no bitch.
First off, I wouldn't put it past him.
We all know he's afraid of the grind.
Oh, God. He speaks for the internet, DC does. I'm just kidding. But no, in all reality, you can look at it either way. You know what I mean? It could be He could be on a hiatus for a bit. He could be in one of these things where he's just sidelined. You know what I mean? But showing up every night to cut promo, or not every night, but every week to cut promos. He could be the CM Punk hurt promo cutting kind of guy. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But thoughts on this? And I'm waiting for Jim Cornette to talk shit on it. But thoughts on the match?
The match was great, and we all knew what we were getting when we saw this match was announced. And I think it over-delivered. The fact that Takeshita got the crowd behind him as a fucking heel, I guess that could be seen one of two ways. One, you're a shitty heel. Two, you're good at what you do.
Both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Takeshita, me personally, I don't think Takeshita was ever meant to be a heel. People have wanted to cheer this motherfucker since he came to America.
Absolutely.
And why they made him heel, I don't know. But I heard the plan was to break him away from that. So my question was, why did you even put him there in the first place? It took him long enough to get to this fucking point. So thank you for that. Now let's do something with it.
Please and thank you.
During the media scrum, Takeshita, who speaks really good fucking English, by the way.
Yeah, shockingly.
I was quite surprised, and that was really nice to actually hear him say that I'm going to defend this title everywhere and make it mean something. So he's going to DDT, he's going to New Japan, he's probably going to All Japan, he's gonna go to Rev Pro, he's gonna go everywhere and make that belt mean something. Hopefully he holds it till at least Revolution or Double or Nothing. He's gonna do some big things, and I'm excited. More Takeshita is the best Takeshita.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm kind of booking this out. Have him with the title for a bit, and slowly start to sow seeds of dissension between him and Fletcher. Eventually, that ends up with Fletcher and Takeshita going at it in what was the pay-per-view you mentioned, Rob? The one that's like in December?
December is World's End.
So maybe December, or not December, at some point. At some point, it leads to Fletcher versus Takeshita for the title. Fletcher gets it with help from Callis. And then Ospreay comes back, leads to Fletcher versus Ospreay for the title, and that's when Ospreay gets it back.
Wrestle Dynasty.
And honestly, until then,
they got the stadium show in Australia in February.
That's when you do it.
That or you can do it the month before it Wrestle Dynasty in Japan.
Until then,
forgot about that.
You don't see Ospreay. You don't see him. You keep him off TV.
I can definitely see it a little bit more now, especially now that both MJF and Adam Cole are back. You got the star power to combat losing Will. I could dig that. I could totally dig that. He definitely should be off TV for at least a fucking couple weeks.
Oi, bruv, going on holiday.
There it is.
I'm going old school here. If you remember years ago, ECW, Sandman was injured. It was kayfabe injured with his eyes. You didn't see him for a couple months. He didn't go out. He stayed home.
Kayfabe.
There's no reason why you can't do shit like that now.
Kayfabe ain't as dead as y'all think. But speaking of dead...
It's doable.
Yes, it is totally doable. But speaking of dead, this was dead air. And this could have totally been done on Dynamite. But Swerve Strickland returns. He shows up. Prince Nana's there. He introduces him. It's a huge hometown ovation. That's why we got to do the Swerve dance, the whole shibiggity. But this whole thing, pretty much, he comes out. He says feeling that he was he had to get a medical update. He still feels a little wonky and tingly in his feeling. As everything he says about Bryan Danielson is coming back to him now as karma is real, but he is medically cleared and wants to address about his past, present, and future before he gets all into it. MVP comes out, and of course he's up there with Shelton Benjamin. And then the writing on the wall for me is, I'm like, where's Big Bobby Lashley? Where's he at? Because the rumor around the internet right now is that he is already signed with AEW. I don't think it's true. Probably isn't, but again, it's just my whole thing. This is literally a fucking them talking about their goddamn history. It was totally missable. This had nothing to do with the goddamn thing. All you need to know is Swerve Strickland is back. Him and Nana are okay for now, and he's either going to have issues with the pain company, no longer the Hurt Business, or he's going to end up joining them. So we'll see how it goes.
We got a plug for the coffee.
Oh yeah, plug for the coffee,
which is good stuff, by the way.
Is it really? I'm not a coffee guy, so I don't fucking know. Energy drinks, baby. Energy drinks. They're good for your kidneys. They're good for your kidneys. Not so good for your kidneys. That was a terrible segment. Hologram versus the Beast Mortis in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Another one where I'm like, huh? Why are we here? How did we get here? What is the point? And I'm not saying it like I don't give a shit about either one of these dudes. It just felt there was nothing of importance. This was just a thing. There you go. It was like back in the cruiserweight days of WCW and just saying, well, fuck it, Dean Malenko versus anybody. But because it's Dean Malenko, it's going to draw some fucking ratings, right? Because Dean Malenko. Well, Hologram don't draw them kind of ratings yet. So give him some time, and I'm sure he'll get there. I do love the Beast Mortis, though. I think he's fucking awesome. I keep forgetting who is underneath the mask of Hologram. I do know it's some jerk off from NXT, though. That's all I can remember.
He wasn't from NXT.
No, am I wrong?
He's from AAA.
Oh, shit, okay.
He was known as Aramis.
That's Aramis, yeah.
Again, I probably already... I think I know already exactly who you're talking about because the name sounds familiar as shit. But to get into this match, it was as lucha libre as we could be. It was rope walks. You name it. I can't... This is again when you see the high flying non-sensory, there's not too much you can put into it. The one thing I will get out of this whole thing is Hologram was undefeated coming into this. He then ends up taking a fall in the middle of this match just to win the match. So technically, he's no longer undefeated. And now he kind of doesn't have any kind of real momentum. It just felt the whole thing was weird. The whole thing.
Do they count it or do they not count it because he won the match? Like how?
But he hasn't been pinned yet. Is the whole idea, and he's been pinned now. He got pinned.
We gotta ask him. Hey Tony, we know you're watching. We need answers.
We need all the answers, Tony.
Give us the answers, please. This was a fantastic display of Lucha Libre.
Fantastic.
The whole reason of it being 2 out of 3, falls was this is like a standard in Lucha Libre, and I'm glad Excalibur brought that up because I'm sure if anybody was going to bring it up, it's going to be fucking Excalibur, who seems to know anything and everything about everything.
He's the most intelligent man in the world.
This is probably going to lead to other things. I know with the Beast Mortos being affiliated with LFI now, we're unfortunately probably going to get, the Mexican wrestlers versus these Mexican wrestlers. And,
cool, me.
It's all good as long as we get more Lucha Libre like that. I'm personally ready for it.
All the Lucha Libres. DC, what you think?
All the flips. No fists.
It's kind of reminiscent to me of the old cruiserweight division in WCW, which to me still to this day has never been replicated correctly. I should say.
Can't disagree.
But it was because it reminded me of in WCW you had guys that didn't look like cruiserweights doing lucha shit.
Yes, sir.
People like Parka.
Yes, sir.
Who's a big dude.
Oh, yes, sir. Big
you had guys like El Dandy, Silver King, guys who, were great in Mexico, but WCW, yeah. Thank you, Eric Bischoff.
You smug bastard in that Vince doc. I could go into a whole fucking ordeal, but then we talk about Lucha Libre, and I have to talk about the king of Lucha Libre real fast, just to fucking shit on him, and he's gonna get fucking points on Thursday. But Rey Mysterio, you can go fuck yourself after deciding to fucking put on a goddamn mask with the fucking Raider logo on it, repping the 619. You're a fucking disgrace to your whole goddamn where you're from. Don't come back to San Diego.
Jesus.
Don't come back to San Diego. However, these two gentlemen can come to San Diego anytime they want because I'm scared of both of them. Darby Allin and Brody King. You knew these men were going to beat the shit out of each other. And they did just that. They beat the shit out of each other. I don't think I've ever seen Brody get... I've never seen Brody get this fucking manhandled before by a dude a third his size. Yes, I said a third, not half. He's fucking chucking him here. He's fucking chucking him there. That spot on the steps was brutal. And I'm more talking about when he just got thrown on it. Fuck the Darby. Darby landing on him meant nothing compared to him landing on the steps by himself. All 320-something pounds of Brody King just wham on fucking goddamn metal plate. Just Jesus.
Meat on metal, baby. Oof.
This thing was fucking brutal. I'm surprised there wasn't gallons of fucking blood everywhere. Somehow, some way, these guys kept from, like, literally busting each other open with just hard shots. There's a holy shit chant because, of course, this fucking coffin drop onto the steps. Everybody's going bananas. They break the fucking, they break the 9 count. They roll in to break the 10 count. And I want to say right after that, he hits the coffin drop, picks up the W. Darby Allin gets the win, his first win that he's ever had against Brody King, which is awesome. But at the same time, being somebody that is trying to get a push for the House of Black, even if it's singles pushes, this guy should have fucking won. But I get it. I fucking get it. You're in Washington. Is the fucking hometown hero. He needs the win over him. I get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
They could do it again next week, and I'll still watch it.
Fuck yeah.
Brody definitely needs that push. That push would be good for him. I know House of Black, everybody except Brody lives in Florida, so, I was kind of wondering, where the fuck is Malachi? Where's Buddy? They stuck. I totally forgot they were stuck. That fucking sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Man, I just want to see House of Black flourish. Tag titles, singles titles. Like these are 3 of the baddest motherfuckers you can possibly have, and we're not doing anything. And
no,
that fucking sucks.
But sucks.
Brody and Darby was great though.
Yes,
and I know House of Black is still a thing, still at least for now. I really think that if something ever changed, Darby and Brody could be a kick-ass tag team.
I've trimmed this, and it is glory.
Like I look at that and I think this could work.
Yes. 100% it could work. It could absolutely work. The big man, the little man dynamic, the enemies, the enemies slowly becoming best friends. Hell, they had an embrace at the end. I mean, so the reality is they're getting to that point. And I mean, and I'm not saying it in a negative way, but if the Hurricanes are that bad and these guys can't show up, maybe Brody King just hangs out with Darby for a little bit. What's the fucking harm?
And then when the boys get back, he throws them off the stage or something.
Yes.
15-foot drop into a table.
And then he joins the House of Black or something kick-ass like that.
Yeah.
What if, instead of Brody turning, you have Darby turn?
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Make Darby heel to see if he can really do it. Because the absolute best in the business are the ones that can be both heel and face.
I don't think he'd have that big of an issue, but it definitely would be a change of pace. It would need to take a little getting used to. It would take a little getting used to. However, I'm already accustomed and may never fully actually be accustomed to watching the Young Bucks and how they have gotten older and somehow still are as good as they've ever been. And Private Party going from this fucking absolute mediocrity that they were about 6-7 months ago to as good as this was. This was excellent Young Bucks tag team action. The Young Bucks versus Private Party for the AEW tag titles. I figured with the Amazing Red video and the training and the whatever, the hype was too high, too hot for Private Party not to finally beat the Young Bucks. But they didn't beat the Young Bucks. And some people on the internet hate it. Some people on the internet don't give a shit. I myself like it. I have been saying for the longest time that, yes, everybody on the internet compares the Young Bucks right now to the Outsiders. Oh, the Outsiders this, oh, the Outsiders that. Guess what, dude? The Outsiders being tag champs drew lots and lots of money. Made lots and lots of tag teams overly relevant. Overly relevant to the point where you didn't give a shit who the Harlem Heat was. Now you care who the Harlem Heat are. You don't give a fuck who Public Enemy are. Now you give a shit who Public Enemy are. It's the Steiners are just two big dudes. Oh, dude, I can't wait for the Steiners to take on fucking the outside. You made every other tag team relevant.
Every 2 months ago, nobody gave a shit about Private Party.
No.
One match changed that.
Not an iota of a shit. No.
Put it this way, like people are saying, "Oh, the Bucks are politicking." At the end of the day, it's Tony Khan's decision.
Hey,
if Tony Khan wanted Private Party to be the champions, they would be.
They would be the champions. Plain and simple.
If you're not in the fucking office with them making these decisions, shut the fuck up.
See, now that's perfectly put right there. If you're not in there doing the job, shut up. Because the reality is, and I know I've said this on Max, who are you really going to give these tag titles to? Be honest. Be fucking real with yourself. Who are you going to give them to? FTR, as much as they are beloved and all this, they are so irrelevant right now, it's not even funny. It's not even funny.
They can't get to work either because of the goddamn hurricane.
Exactly. They're stuck in North Carolina. I hate
there ain't going to be the Lucha Bros.
I was just going to say, the Lucha Bros are gone. So there's that idea out the fucking door. Grizzled Young Vet.
We got a Lucha Brother.
We got a Lucha Bro. That ain't going to do nobody no fucking good.
No.
Grizzled Young Vets have done fuck all, but who's really going to get behind those guys? They haven't been on television at all in any minute manner.
Well, guess what? They're from Florida too, so they're probably stuck.
So again, what do we have? What do you have right now to replace these cats? Nothing. Nothing.
We need all the wrestlers living in Florida to stop living in Florida, please.
I know California is expensive, but come on. Come on. Expensive. Fucking Texas then, for shit's sake. I don't know. Nevada.
Hey, bring Butcher and the Blade back.
Hey.
Come there's Blade is still fucked.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fucked for a while.
So again, we're
gonna put Butcher and Daniel Garcia together. You know.
Oh my god.
Maybe I'm partial. You know, I might be partial because
kids. Let's go.
Oh, I love it. Okay, but I mean, you're right. We're literally pointing out the obvious. There's nobody. There's nobody to do it. This wouldn't have worked if Private Party had won. What then?
What now?
Yeah.
To go on your point, Mo. Tony, spend some time building up your fucking tag division.
Again.
And women's division.
For the longest time, you had a great division. For the longest time, you had a tag division where literally you could point to any and be like, could be tag champions, could be tag champions, could be tag champions. And now it's like you forgot you even had fucking tag titles.
Yeah. They don't fucking mean shit. And it's not saying it like that in the worst negative way possible, but that's the reality. Nobody has been built to want to oversee the Young Bucks. There's been nobody built for us to be like, I can't wait for them to beat the Young Bucks, because they're just not doing anything with anybody.
Is there any tag teams right now that are in the free agent market, or?
I don't think
so. No, not the Guns.
No.
Anybody?
Motor City Machine Guns will be on fucking in WWE soon. I think they debut next week.
They'll be on SmackDown on Friday.
Yeah, so they're off the question. That's it, fam. I mean, who else really is there?
WWE's been snatching them up.
I mean, yeah. Alex Shelley's gone. There's like 2 or 3 different tag teams that are gone right there.
Pretty much anybody in TNA you're not going to get near because...
What the fuck is Charlie Haas doing?
Yeah.
What Charlie? Fucking, I haven't seen that motherfucker in decades. Get him and Shelton Benjamin back together.
He was in TNA for a hot minute a couple years ago.
Hey,
but he got hurt. He got like a concussion.
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
He got concussed during TV tapings or something.
Oh, not the Kikushis.
You know what? Just one time, at least one time, I need Charlie and Shelton at least one last time.
Just one.
Just
give me one.
That would be fun.
The world's greatest tag team.
For the nostalgias.
I don't know how to feel about this. I don't. But I can already hear Daz going, "Hi guys." So Mark Briscoe, Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I swear to God, this was put on the pre-show, or at least it was on the fucking Wikipedia card, and randomly is randomly the fucking co-main event. The Ring of Honor Television Championship is ahead of the AEW Tag Team titles, the AEW Women's Championship. TK's got the fucking problems.
Hi guys.
But this was
He
quite.
didn't have that good Thunder Snow.
Hey, again, when you can't get to Florida, and Florida can't get to you, what are you going to do? You're going to take the Nevada Bug Shug, and it may be laced. Who knows?
California.
Hey, how you doing? Pay the premium, baby. Pay the premium. Speaking of premiums, this was premium Mark Briscoe. This was angry Mark Briscoe. The Sussex County Chicken was not a chicken. He was not. He was in no way, shape, or form that crazy guy that you knew. He channeled his inner Jay Briscoe, and he went all out to Chris Jericho and even Big Bill for a little bit. Which again, the numbers thing still pisses me off. Still. But speaking of the numbers thing, they did have Brian Keith got involved, but then I want to say everybody from the conglomeration come down. I want to say Orange Cassidy showed up, and then I believe who else had showed up? Who saved homeboy from fucking Rocky Romero? That's who. Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, no, it wasn't. I keep wanting to say that it was Kyle O'Reilly. I was like, no, it wasn't Kyle. It was Rocky Romero. So thanks for the help from them. We get the Froggy Bow, got leaped right into a code breaker. Jericho doesn't make a cover. He wants to hit the Dre Driller of his own. Hits it. Briscoe kicks out. He's pissed off. There's no selling the shot after shot. Hits a massive shot of his own. Was it Fireman's Carry into the Froggy Bow? Doesn't go for the cover. Goes right for a J Driller. Spikes Jericho. Picks up the dub. Still your Ring of Honor World Champion, Mark Briscoe. So, good. Oh, it was an all right match. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. It
had Jericho, and I'm tired of seeing Jericho.
I don't know anybody who wants to be seeing Jericho. So yes, your sentiments and my sentiments match.
God damn it!
The point. It's time for Jericho to go back to WWE.
Hi guys.
I mean, it would work perfectly. Hi guys shit would work perfectly in WWE. I mean, hell, at minimum, go on a Fozzy tour. Just get the fuck out of here.
Take a break. Bro.
Take a break. You don't need to be here. We don't really need you here. Hell, I think Big Bill might even thrive without you.
I mean, he was getting pops on his own for a good minute, so.
Jericho's at that point now where he went from being considered one of the greatest of all time to being that veteran who people look as like he's taking TV time away from, a younger talent. Like he's at that level where it's like, okay, go.
It's funny. I started to see a little Ric Flair in him when he was wrestling. I'm just like, this is getting bad. This is not good.
It's getting bad. It's not good. You're right. We're a little worried about Jericho, but hopefully it comes to an end soon. This thing, however, got started in a hurry. Jon Moxley, Bryan Danielson, AEW World Championship. Another one where, again, you could say the writing was on the wall. But in the match, they played it up where Bryan absolutely refused to, for lack of a better words, die. He refused to fucking die. And Moxley did.
They wanted to spend all the money, man. He let He let Final Countdown play for a good while.
He did. That thing played. They're brawling everywhere. All of a sudden, they finally decide to just fade it out, and I'm just like, all right, that was about $45,000 down the drain.
$450,000.
Hey, I'm telling you. See, I know I'm right, because when Dad's it's like, that's probably like $10,000 every time. No. Add a zero.
No.
Add a zero, baby.
Add a couple zeros.
Like, I'm telling you, bro, for every 30 seconds, it's probably a good 125,000. And that's them being nice.
Nice.
You know, I said this before as to what WWE should have done with Adam Copeland. They should have had Alter Bridge play him out. This was with Daniel Bryan, Danielson, whatever the fuck you want to call him. You should have brought in Europe, had them do the final countdown.
That's $1.5 million, fam. That's $1.5 million. Right there.
He's got it.
I'm sure he does.
Fucking media rights deal. You've got the money.
I think Anthony.
Borrow it from your daddy.
I think Anthony could afford that.
I know Anthony can afford that, but I can assure you, the football fans that are watching him are yelling him to spend it on his goddamn club at Fulham. So he don't want to get yelled at by the media. But you're not wrong. A fucking $1.5 million, bring in Europe, have him play for 5 minutes. It would have been fantastic. It would have been the greatest thing since fucking probably since Limp Bizkit played live.
How's Jacksonville doing?
1-5, bruv. 1-5. They just got destroyed in London, by the way.
What are the Chargers?
At 3-2. Just got another dub. How we doing? Anyway, a lot better than the Raiders. Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Asshole.
You fucker.
Marina Shafir. I do want to go off on a little thing, and I got to talk about Marina Shafir. And I'm
You don't know her.
I'm indifferent. I'm loving this kind of Triple H and China dynamic, but I also feel like she's very cowardly. If that makes any sense, where she's more like Sable than she is fucking China, where it's like, oh yeah, she could probably kick your ass, but she's gonna wait for the perfect opportunity, while China would just throw a dude for the sake of throwing a dude. But I think they want that same feel.
He strikes me as somebody that would pull a Strowman and would yeet a fan at him.
Yes.
Probably could.
We did get a nice little fucking salute to Seth Rollins every time we see a curb stomp from Jon Moxley. Did love that. The crowd was so into this match. There was the back and forth yes and no chants. I want to say there was a pile driver, and then this is how it ends. But the way it ends, and I'm not talking about the post match. I'm talking about the actual match itself. And for me, means a little bit more because you have two guys who are well versed in the land of jiu-jitsu, submission wrestling, and they're literally fighting for a rear naked choke. They're advancing, they're rolling through, they're maneuvering around. Literally, Mox is doing absolutely everything he can to ensure that the choke stays applied. He gets there, and it's very reminiscent of The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. The tap happens, the bell rings, there's a little bit of silence, and we can't believe that it actually went down, even though we kind of could see the writing on the wall. But it happens. Jon Moxley becomes the first 4-time AEW World Champion and sends Bryan Danielson off of home for a little bit because his full-time schedule will no longer be a thing, but I assure you we'll see him in the next few months. Don't get too discouraged. Let him get some serious time off, and I promise you he will be back. But before I ask you gentlemen about the match, actually, before I get into the post-match, I got to ask you gentlemen about the match. How did we feel? Was it every bit as hard-hitting and as gruesome as you thought it was going to be? Do you feel this is one of their better interactions they've had, considering all the interactions they've had, not only in WWE, but here in AEW?
I think this goes right up there with the time Regal debuted and slapped the fuck out of both of them.
Yes.
The match they had there was great, and this was pretty good too. Kind of reading afterwards that this was Bryan's choice. He wanted Mox to be his last opponent, and if this is what Daniel wanted,
hey,
he deserves it.
Absolutely, he deserves it.
There are some people that are just tied to certain opponents.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be like a John Cena and a Randy Orton, Omega and Okada. You know, to me, Mox, Ambrose, whatever you want to call him, and Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, it works. And, you know, to me, I would say the equivalent is to who is going to end it for Danielson. What was the streak? Who?
Yes.
If not Brock, who? Like, who, like you mentioned with beating the Bucks, who's believable? You're going to have Darby Allin. It doesn't make sense for a face to end the career of another face. It makes no sense.
And not only another face, but a massive face, your biggest face.
Exactly. It makes more sense for it to be Mox.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
There was no one better.
There's no one better. Mox was 100% the right choice, unless somehow, some way, miraculously, Kenny Omega came back, but that's beside the point. Wishful thinking, hopeful thinking. Post-match, though, the murder begins. It is, we're near Halloween, and these boys took that shit straight to heart. Claudio comes out, Pac comes out, Marina Shafir's back at ringside after being thrown out. They literally hand Mox the AEW title, and fucking Claudio Castagnoli just has this bag in his hand, and I'm like, great, here we go. They hand the bag to Moxley. Wheeler and Darby Allin make the save. There's this whole thing for a little bit. And then that's when Wheeler finally turns. He knocks out Darby Allin with a running knee. They tape him into the corner, which I thought was already weird in itself. And then they're literally like just as fucking Hollywood movie as can be, trying to suffocate the dog shit out of this poor man. You hear fucking Darby yelling, "Hey, you to please stop. Yell you to stop." They're begging this dude to stop. It just, ominous silence falls over the whole arena. I want to say Daniel Garcia tries to come out. All these dudes, this was after the end. But the thing where it's the worst of it, and we kind of talked about it just a little minute prior to coming onto the show, was Claudio Castagnoli and the Pillmanizing, in the most disrespectful way, mind you, I've ever fucking seen a Pillmanizing.
Disrespectful.
Of this fella's neck. Claudio is nonchalant, puts the chair over the neck, and with ease, poise, and somehow badassery, fucking stomps the dog shit out of this chair and is like standing on it, to literally add insult to injury. The dude that was known as the Swiss Superman, who could go on the fucking Nickelodeons or whatever and say that he knows 14 languages, is killing a man live on pay-per-view. That's when everybody comes out. They're all there to console, all there to help Darby, all there to help Brian. Brian gets stretchered off.
Looking like the fucking Avengers and shit. God damn.
It was just, there was a thank you, Brian chant. Everybody just looks absolutely defeated, and the show goes off the air in complete and total silence, and we're left on with anticipation of how Wednesday will go. So, at the beginning, we talked about the murders. How do we feel about how this ended? Did they go too far, or is this something we just need to get used to? If you're not already,
Didn't go far enough.
Didn't go far enough. Holy shit!
It was uncomfortable as fuck.
Yes.
But I guess in the bigger scheme of things, this is how it had to be done. Ultimately, and then I'm sure this was all Brian's choice, because that would make him probably the sicko of all sickos, to be honest.
That sounds like Brian. Sounds like Brian.
Just to go out on his fucking shield, just to have everybody just absolutely and utterly defeated, that this fucking group basically killed him.
Basically, indeed. They absolutely killed him. DC, they didn't go far enough. What more should we have gotten?
Guns and knives.
Holy shit.
No. It's pretty much assumed, and I know people are pretty much guaranteeing this to happen. A certain former WWE executive signing, I don't think, if there was ever a time to debut this person, last night was it.
Yes, if you're referring to the man I think you're referring to.
A guy who, he comes out and here comes the money.
Hey.
If ever there was a time to bring him out, that was it. Like, honestly, the way I would have had to go off the air, Mox just handing him the title.
He didn't even have to go to the ring. They could do it all on the ramp.
Yeah.
Just hand it to him. And have him just look at it, nod his head, fade to black. Just show goes straight to black.
Straight to black. I don't hate it. But yeah, I mean,
missed opportunity, Tony.
Missed opportunity, but then again, I'm kind of hoping that it's a missed opportunity because I'm really praying he didn't sign. But I'm actually going to be one of those cool people, and I want to ask everybody who's going to be watching this, go ahead and leave us down in the comment section below. Let us know. Has Shane signed? Is Shane the leader of this new Moxley crew? The new Mox crew? Let's go with that. The new instead of the 2 Live crew, the new Mox crew. Oh, fuck off.
You know Tony.
Fuck off. I can't have that. I can't have that.
And that's for the sickos.
I can't do it. And that's where we have to cut this
sickos.
off. Lord Jesus. Yes, the Lord of the Sickos. Still currently atop of the Max Wanker board. Or Bill End. I almost said Wanker. Wanker's better. Anyway, so that'll do it for us. The hiatus is over. Congratulations. Thank you all for coming back. We appreciate you. A lot will be hitting the archives for y'all to go backwards for us, but this one is not an archive because it'll be live on you for the Monday morning, so congratulations for that. Simplicity is the key word here in TSK, so that's why we're going to try to simple it down. Maybe that way we can get episodes out as fast and totally possible as we can.
That's what the S stands for in TSK.
That's right, baby. So, before we get going, we got to let the gentlemen plug their stuff. Deep in the Heart of Wrestling literally predicted fucking, I want to say, what was the other WWE show that just happened? The reality is they're up there working on episode 17 that just dropped, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. We just dropped episode 17 a couple of days ago. That was a prediction of this show we just reviewed. It's up on our... where is it at? It's up on Mike's YouTube.
That's right.
We just recently hit over 1,000 subscribers, by the way.
Whoop.
That was a very nice feat. Thank you for that. Check out Deep Into the Heart of Wrestling. Linktree/BlackHeartsEBD3. That'll take you to Mike's YouTube, where all of our episodes are at, all 17 of them. We've got an Instagram. We've got a Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Fuck you, Elon.
Attaboy.
I do that on this show, too. And a couple of other things as well. We will be predicting Halloween Havoc, and we're actually going to do Crown Jewel too. So we will be predicting that as well. So be on the lookout for that. Any of my socials, Linktree/Hey It's Rob. Let's talk about Guns and Knives fights and sour sauce.
Sour sauce, Guns and Knives. DC, what's the haps? The slowdown has happened for a lot of us, and you're included in it. But what's the gimmick? When's the comeback?
Pundit is coming back tomorrow.
Hey,
it'll drop Monday, same date as this comes back.
Love it. The comeback's
and
real.
Uncaged, we actually just recorded an episode the other day. We had on a guest. We had the Phenom, the dead man of RWT. I'm talking about Mr. Paul Morales.
Hey-o.
Where we discussed the life and times of the bad guy, the Chico, Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Mr. Scott Hall.
Gotta love it.
And we have another episode, our season finale. I'm not sure the exact date we're recording it, but we have another collab with the folks at the Deep in the Heart of Wrestling, Mr. Robert Davis and Miss Nicola McDowell. We are going to be discussing our tribal chief, the real tribal chief, the original tribal chief,
right.
Roman Reigns.
OTC, baby, that's how we do.
We acknowledge him.
And so should you. So speaking of that, not only acknowledge them, acknowledge us, acknowledge Max Wrestling. Yes, you can go check out their lovely stuff over on the Mike Larkins YouTube page, but right here is where you're getting the TSK, right here on the Max YouTube. Go ahead and hit that follow and subscribe button and make sure you tune in each and every Thursday for a brand new episode of Max Wrestling, where you get to see great things like the Golden Gauntlet, where all of a sudden fucking Rodney Slabovich will come in and cut a promo and call my mother. That's a different story for a different day. So with that being said,
called your mama?
He called my mama. With that being said,
He called your mama?
Oh God, I'm not going to repeat myself.
Somebody better call his mama. He's about to whoop a chump.
Goodness gracious. That's it for us. Enjoy you guys this Monday. Double dipping over here. One for the pundit, one with the TSK. We hope you all enjoyed this one. Come on back with us next time. God only knows what AEW stuff's happening, but who knows? We might jump in the WWE ring and get some more of those reviews out. So don't forget to, again, hit that subscribe. Follow these gentlemen when they're doing their stuff, and we will catch y'all around the band. Two sweet boys. And enjoy that Monday.
Bye, guys.
I'll pay you.